Friends, today we are going to see about the Indian Constitution, subsection State Government, the topic, the unit of State Government. Let us see the topic, the powers and functions of the Governor. So, in your state executive, there will be a nominal executive, that is said to be a governor, and there is a real executive, they are Chief Minister and the Council of the Minister. In the governor is the constitutional head of the state government, and the executive powers are assigned to the government based on the Article 154, and the government of the state is appointed by the president based on the Article 155, and he holds his office at the pleasure of the president. So let us see the eligibility criteria of the appointment of government, the condition for the government office. The eligibility based on the Article 158, he or she should be a citizen of India and should have completed 35 years of age and must not hold any official of profit or must not be a member of legislative or of a union or a state, and the appointment is based on Article 155. So here the government of the state must not be elected by the appointment of the President of India and holds the office at the pleasure of the President. There shall be a governor for each state by an amendment of the rule in 1956, and it is possible to appoint the same person as a governor for 2 or more states. Next is your terms of the office, governor office. Okay, so the normal term shall be 5 years. That is, the period of a governor is maximum 5 years, but it may be terminated early by any dismissal by the president at whose pleasure he holds the office. So next is the Resignation Act. So next, let us see the powers of governor. So the governor has various powers. First one is executive powers, next is legislative powers, and third one is judicial powers and emergency powers and vote powers, and also ordinance making powers and discretionary functions. So the executive power is something that he appoints as chief minister and appoints a council of minister on his advice, and also the appointment of the advocate general and the state election commissioner and the member of state public service also commission. This is the executive power of the governor. And next, let us see about the legislative powers. So he is a part of the state legislative, just as president is a part of parliament. So the right of addressing and sending a message, and of summoning and proroguing and dissolving the relationship of state legislative, and he can also either a house or both of the houses assemble together at the beginning of the first session, and after each general election it is also initiated of many session every year. So next one is that the power to nominate one member of an Anglo-Indian community to legislative assembly if they are not adequately represented. Next is the power to appoint 1/6 member to the upper chamber, and the bill passes by the state legislative require his consent. He can retain his consent and return the bill for the re-examination of state legislature. So next, let us see about the financial power. So financial power is something that the annual financial statement of the state is presented in the legislative assembly with his consent. So the no money bill can be introduced in the same legislative without a prior recommendation of government, and he can also control over a state constituency fund. Next, let us see about judicial powers. So here he entitled to be consulted by the president in appointment of the judges of the high court of the particular state, and he has the powers to regarding appointment, promotion and transfer of any district judges. And according to the Article 161, the government has the power to grant pardons and commutations and remissions, and also punishment of the convict against any law. Next is your emergency power. He has a power that he can report to the president if he is satisfied about the situation in which government of the state cannot be carried out in accordance with provision of constitution to recommend for need of president rule. So next is your vote power. So here the governor is open to take any of the following steps. That is, he may give his assent to the bill in such condition that it would become a law advantage, and he may declare that he will hold his assent to the bill, and in case of bill other than money bill, he may return to the bill with the message. He can also reserve a bill for consideration of a president. Next is your ordinance power. So this is based on the Article 213. Governor is assigned for ordinance making power. So here the governor has his power only when legislative or both the houses not in the session, and it is discretionary power but must be exercised within the aid and advice of the minister. And also the government shall be competent to withdraw of ordinance at any time. So next let us see the discretionary power. So here it is based on 6th schedule provides the governor of Assam shall in his discretion determine the amount of payable of state of Assam to the district council as a royalty of acquiring a license for minerals. So these are the discriminative power and some of the special responsibility of the government. So the governor of Maharashtra and Gujarat have a special responsibility for establishment of development boards of certain areas, and also government of Nagaland has a similar responsibility with respect to ensuring laws and orders in that state, and also it empowers the president to direct the governor of Manipur shall also have special responsibilities to secure the proper function of the community. So based on the district state governors, there are certain rules and responsibility are there to maintain. So the matter in which the governor act with the ministerial advice. So the reservation of bill for the reconsideration of president and making a report to a president about the rise of situation in which the government of state cannot be carried out in accordance with the constitution. Some situation in relation with the work of government are when no party gets clear majority in legislative assembly, the appointment of chief minister fails to prove the majority, and when the present council of minister loses the confidence of legislative assembly. There is a dual rule for governor. One is your constitution head of the state, and second one is your bridge between a center and state government. But in practice, he is an agent of a center government. So these are the reference which I have taken from this. And if you have any clarification related to this topic, please feel free to approach me. Thank you. Bye bye.